Yeah, I mean, I think you said it. Promotion and relegation. It just shows the whole pay-to-play model in the U.S. Meaning, if you want to go to from, let's just say on the men's side, you want to go from U.S. out to MLS, don't win yourself in, buy yourself in.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the same thing. If you're on a club team, maybe certain teams don't earn your playing time, buy your playing time. If you have parents putting the pressure in that sense, putting some money behind it. And that's why I think we slip through the cracks of that development, maybe the grit, because promotion relegation, when your team gets relegated, you lose money and players are about to play throughout the whole season. You're playing like that. That is huge. That is
Absolutely.
huge. That is huge. So I think that is one of the most key ingredients, Melissa, that you hit on both the male and female. I think we have so much resources in America, so much potential in America. If that tweak gets made and both men and women leagues are under one umbrella like that, I think we would be much closer to the world at the highest levels. And I want to kind of, Shai, did you want to say anything
Yeah,
on that?
I just based on what you're saying, it's, you get the feel in America. I think what Melissa was even alluding to, that the game almost doesn't get important until the playoffs, where I think if you're in a promotion relegation mentality, every game becomes important. Every game is about getting to that point. So I think you guys have both made some excellent points there for sure. Sorry, Shawn.
And no, no, no. And Shai, to add up on that, it's because I think the culture of America, they feel that football, soccer gets the same buzz in playoffs like it does with the other sports.
Sure.
So they try to mirror it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a bad drawback because soccer football is an international game and it didn't start here. And we have to kind of understand the history behind it. So yeah, I mean, um, I wanted to kind of touch on what you said about COVID, Melissa. And it's been a difficult year for everybody all over the world. And I think you can't say any more difficult than the coaches, than even the players, because everybody's in the same ballpark. But in a coach's role, what has been um, the most difficult things for you that you had to kind of endure? And how did you have to adapt to those moments and say, you know what it is. I got to embrace it. These are the stuff we have to do to keep us on track until we get past this pandemic.
Yeah, well, I think you hit the nail on the head right there with the word adapt. It's all about being adaptable. I moved here March 10th, had my first day in the office March 12th, and by March 14th, we had decided to postpone for a week. We had about 6 weeks remaining in the season. And we said, okay, we're going to postpone a week just to see where this thing goes. And, fast forward 4 or 5 months later, we're starting a new season. But I think what I was able to do in that time was build relationships and build culture, and that's where you adapt. You just figure out how can you still develop your players, develop your team, and it just might look a little bit different than what you do on the field. And so resources like Zoom calls, it's the wave of the future, and you just have to jump on board and still figure out where can you affect and influence and impact your players in a positive way, that is not physically capable to do so anymore. So I think, in terms of challenges, it was just finding a balance of, how much information sticks when you're on Zoom calls, what information is relevant, and what's going to resonate the most with the players that you work with. But I think it was a great opportunity for coaches to reinvent themselves from a film standpoint, from a building relationship standpoint, individual development. I think that you can be so creative, even doing trivia and Jeopardy type Zoom calls on questions about the game, or getting to know your teammates. And so I think you just have to really be creative, but that's where having a group of coaches that you can network and support with, and bounce ideas off of each other. I mean, I've referenced Nicole on this call a few times. We speak every day, and it's like, okay, what are you doing with your team? What are you doing with your team on Zoom? And just, that's a great idea. I'm going to steal that, and, having a little twist on it to make it your own. And so, I think it's made us all better as coaches, because we have to refine our own process and really look at ourselves and reflect about how can I still get the best out of the people that I work with?
If you reflect on it, what's the most creative concept you use in the pandemic?
I think, anytime you can appeal to somebody's competitive nature, it's going to be more fun. So we had weekly challenges, and it was things from like an egg toss, like who could catch an egg, non-hard-boiled egg from the furthest distance, to who can run the fastest 2 mile, or workout challenges. I think those were a good laugh, and really made it an enjoyable kind of atmosphere within our team thread and within calls, and just being able to celebrate each other for the little successes that you don't get when you're on the field competing together.